Hi there, Simon here from Sterling Coaching, and in today's Monday's Moment, I'm going to give you a different perspective on cash flow. I'm not an accountant, but wait to see what I've got to say. Now, in a session with a client this week, I discussed the cash flow forecast, and this client has really wanted to procrastinate and take their time in working on their cash flow. And I just wanted to share this in this Monday's Moment because I realised how important cash flow is for a business and how very often things can get in the way. So on a flip chart behind me, I've got just a few columns there, and cash flow doesn't have to be complicated. And what it's really important is to realise from my perspective, as well as cash flow being important for accounting, it's more important for marketing and sales. The figures that you put in your cash flows, we'll look at in a second, need to drive your revenue figures at the top so that then drives the marketing activity to get that revenue in. Okay, so I've just gone and got my pen, so that's a quick jump in the video. So what we have here on this cash flow forecast really is a series of columns and rows. And what I'm going to do is in this top row, I'm going to write the word revenue. Okay, now it's up to you whether you, in this column here, in this row at the top in revenue, whether you put different aspects of work in there or different clients. But what you need to do is we need to be doing this monthly. Okay, so I've got in here the top of the columns each month. Then as I go down, swing that round. If any of you feel motion sickness from that, I'm really sorry. But then we're going to go down, and what we're going to put is what some people call cost of gross sales. Okay, so that's COGS. So this is the cost that you incur because you're actually carrying out the work. And of course, then in the bottom, we've got fixed expenses. So we've got revenue in the top, we've got cost of gross sales, the cost of actually carrying out the work, and then we've got fixed expenses. So fixed expenses are things like rent, telephone, and of course, I'm not the accountant, so every business will have different things that go in these categories. And it's best to speak to your accountant or your accounts person and work out what it is that you want to do. But the most important thing is, this will give you, get a different colour pen, that one looks like it's running out. This will give you, across the bottom, a net profit. Okay, and this is what we're interested in. This is what we need to try and make sure that we maintain. So the thing is, when you're looking at your cash flow, what we need to do is start from the net profit that we want to make down here. We know our fixed costs. We can determine what our cost of gross sales are based upon percentages, forecasts and historic figures. But then what we need to do is create an aspirational revenue. And that then is an important thing, because once we do this, we can work out what revenue we need and what marketing activity we need to do to bring that revenue in. Do we need to ring old customers and things like that? So play about with your cash flow. If your fixed costs are going up, then what impact does that have on your revenue? If your cost of gross sales are going up, if your suppliers are charging you more for what it is that you buy, what does that revenue need to be like? So it's not always a cutting cost exercise. For me, cash flow is more important to say what marketing, what activity do we need to do to bring in the revenue. So I'm Simon from Sterling Coaching. If you want to chat with me about how you can use cash flow to drive your business forwards and how to use it to focus on marketing and sales, then just go to www.timewithsimon.com.